So let me ask you a question. When was the last time you played? I mean, not like that. Not scrolled, not answering emails, not Netflix and, thinking about work. I mean, genuinely played, like laughed, created, competed, and just move your body, like for no reason at all other than I just want joy. Somewhere along the lines, as we grow up, adults were taught a very dangerous lesson. Play is for children. And today, I want to challenge that particular idea, because a free mind is not just built through discipline. A free mind is also built through play. And if you have stopped playing, you may be carrying a burden you were never designed to carry.
Nhom lao, it's all I need, yeah, it's all I need, yeah.
One of the things that I noticed as we grow older as adults is that life slowly becomes more about responsibility, work, pay bills and family obligation, deadlines, appointment, and so forth. The calendar gets so much fuller, the soul gets so much smaller. And many people don't even realize what's actually happening for them at all. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, like obviously all those things are there so that we can survive. However, bear with me. As children, we knew how to play naturally. Nobody has to really taught us. Even if you put a child like in the middle of a room somewhere, they'll find a way to play. Nobody had to teach any of us. Even to some extent, nobody has to teach us now, but somewhere along the lines we've forgotten. Yet somewhere between school, careers, and adulthood, many of us have received an unspoken message, right? If you are a serious person, you stop playing. Who exactly told us that? Because I don't think it's true at all. So stay with me. So growing up in an African community, or just in general, I was born in South Sudan and then, lived in Kenya. Play wasn't just about like entertainment, like, watching Netflix, but it was more about connection. It was more about learning. It was a community. So some of you, might remember the games that we played under tree, in open fields, or a dusty road before the street light came on. Games where nobody bought any expensive equipment. I remember we used to play this thing. It's kind of like a dodgeball. I think in different places they call it differently. We didn't have enough money for that. So what we did was we would find like new old papers or like newspaper, like put water in it, crush it. After crushing it, then you add it to this other small tiny bag. Then from there on, we'll find like old socks, wrap it around that, and then voila, we have a dodgeball. I don't know what we'll call it in English. And there was like nothing expensive about it. A lot of the stuff, we used to play this game like the 5 stone, game, and or 6, I think it was 6, depending on which one you're playing. And literally we just play. We'll create like these holes on the ground and use like tiny pebbles to play this particular game. So many cool stuff. And it was just like about that connection, just people laughing and like just natural competition and just creativity just flowed. The game itself was not, I didn't feel like it was necessarily important, but it actually connected us. You can see that, the relationships that were made there, like they were so important. They were built. Like it wasn't just like, oh, this is somebody I know. It was like you get to know each other in a very deep level. Nobody was, like looking at emails and nothing like that. It was something natural. And, it's not, or when you're like really young or whatever, then, you're not up like looking at your homework and so forth. And like, I gotta get serious. And yeah, like when you think about it, nobody was trying to build any personal brand. Nobody was, let's optimize productivity, for a moment people were very, very simple, and that actually matters more than we realize. Today many adults still actually play. However, the only play that they recognize is scrolling through their phone, me included also. And based on my opinion, I don't necessarily think that that's play. Often it's just like consumption, right? Real play involves like participation. It asks something of you. You move, you think, you create, you connect, right? A free mind needs a moment where it is not constantly producing, because if your value is always tied to performance, eventually life begins to feel like basically like shift work. Even your hobbies become more like projects. Even your rest become more like, oh yeah, I'm doing this to be productive. Even your weekend become another task list. That is not freedom. That is simply another form of captivity. There is a reason some of the world's highest performers intentionally make time for recreation. People like Richard Branson have spoken for years around adventure, having fun and play as a part of successful life. Not because they are irresponsible people. A human being is not a machine. Machine does work constantly because that's what they know. They don't have a soul, Human work, laugh, rest, imagine, and play. When we remove one of those parts, we don't become suddenly unstoppable and Terminator. No, we become so much smaller. Our soul becomes so much smaller. Here on this channel, we talk about having free mind, a spacious mind, and not a crowded one. And one of the fastest way to crowd your mind is to believe every moment must be useful. Every conversation must lead somewhere. Every hobby must become a business. Every single skill must become an income. Every minute must be optimized. That sounds impressive. However, it creates a lot of exhaustion. Sometimes the healthiest thing that you can actually do is something that doesn't have this quantitative, measurable outcome. Play a board game, kick a football, dance badly, paint something terrible, pick up a singing lesson and learn a card game, laugh with friends, just be in the moment. Not because it improves your productivity, but because you are alive. You are a human being that needs to play, that needs to be happy. So here's my challenge for today. Schedule in 1 hour of play, not scrolling, not work disguised as fun, actual play. Maybe it's a games night with some friends, maybe it's basketball, maybe it's chess. I don't know how to play chess actually. Maybe checkers, Maybe it's teaching your children a game from your culture. Maybe it's revisiting something that you love before life becomes so serious. Protect that hour. You don't earn it. You don't justify it. You simply take it because your mind needs room to breathe. And maybe the real question is not whether adults should play, but who convinced us that growing up meant that we had to stop? Because some of the most freeing moments of your childhood, of my childhood, were fun in the most simplest games, shared laughter, and being absolutely fully present. And perhaps the path to a more spacious mind isn't always adding something new. Maybe it's remembering something old. So tell me, what game did you love as a child that you haven't actually played in so many years? I might actually try it for myself this week, and maybe that's where we begin.